of Central National Bank of Alva to ask him some questions. What qualities are you looking for in a candidate?
Well, there's a lot of qualities that a person looks for when they're looking to fill a position. I think fundamentally we look for people that have demonstrated a good work ethic over time, and you can discover somewhat how people are by looking at what they've been involved in the past and the enthusiasm and the energy that they've done on that. Obviously, from a financial institution perspective, there has to be certain qualities present before a person can even be considered, and those being honesty, dependability, and just people of good character. Those are fundamental things that have to exist. I think another, the quality that is essential for any position, be it a person that's interacting directly with the public or a person in the bank that's working on the technology side, is you have to have good skills as far as being able to understand certain things, but you have to be able to interact with people and communicate with people and sometimes diffuse situations where people are getting upset. So the qualities, the fundamental qualities that we look for are those of honesty and dependability and those type aspects. Skill levels are probably not as big a factor as many would think. If people have the fundamental qualities that exist, we can help people learn the specific skills and the specific tasks that they need to do.
How important is my GPA?
GPA is a consideration. It's not a, I guess you wouldn't say it's a litmus test. It's just it's a consideration. GPAs indicate some things. Primarily, they indicate how well an individual prepared for their classes and how good of a test taker they were, all of those things. But that being said, sometimes a person with a mediocre GPA was a good candidate or a better candidate than somebody with a 4.0 GPA, because sometimes people with a 2.8 GPA or a 2.5, they may be a better balanced person in the big scheme of things. They may have chosen to direct more of their energy towards being involved in campus activities or raising their family or whatever. And so GPA is an important consideration because it indicates how serious, to a degree, that people took their education and their goals as far as the grades that they attain. But it's not a consideration that typically rules out a person even getting an interview. If I see an application that their GPA is kind of mediocre, but they have a lot of other very positive things on their application or on their resume, the GPA isn't something I just focus in on.
How important is my major?
Not as important as you think. The important thing is, I think, whether it be financial services or any industry, the majority of people have to be able to solve problems. Because that's what most, when you boil it all down to what people do throughout a day, and I say problems, that's probably not the best term to use, but solve issues. Because it doesn't matter whether it's a customer service representative or a loan secretary or a loan officer. You have to be able to sort through all the things, make good decisions, make decisions within policies and understood procedures. So I think the important thing is that a person has a major that they enjoy, that they can be enthusiastic about, that they feel like is of value. And I think if a person has gone into that major and that field of study and done those things, I've seen music majors that were just as good of bankers, if not better bankers, than what business administration people were. And so the major isn't important. I think the attitude and the enthusiasm a person goes at it with is the most fundamental thing.
How important is my work experience skill level?
Don't want to minimize work experience and skill level, but the skill level probably isn't that paramount. I mean, yeah, it's great when you have a loan secretary position come open and you can bring somebody in that already knows Excel and Word and all of those things that go into it. But I think probably in that question the most important thing is that you have work experience. Doesn't have to be in the specific field, but I think most employers that are looking to hire look very much at, has that person been willing to work, and have they stayed engaged in a job in some capacity. You know, the willingness and ability to put forth energy is one of those fundamental qualities and character issues that are important to every employer. You know, no employer out there wants to have an employee that the day's schedule is you work from 8 to 4, and you know, the worst thing an employee can do is be a person that if they're supposed to start work at 8 o'clock, they never show up at the workplace till 1 minute before 8 o'clock, and then are the same people that from 3:30 on are looking at the clock the whole time, just waiting for that momentous 4 o'clock bell to ring, and then everybody better not stand in front of the door because they'll be trampled. Willingness to work and the willingness to do a little bit of extra discretionary work, though that's the most important thing.